Hey everybody, it's Minty here at the Rock Pool as we count down to Melanoma March 2022. Sunday, March 20 from 8 o'clock, we'll be walking the Strand to raise such important funds for the Melanoma Institute Australia. And we'd love you to register for the walk at melanomamarch.org.au. For me, my interest in melanoma comes from the fact that my mum passed away from a melanoma back in 1993. She was 52 years of age, and unfortunately, the treatments back then were pretty terrible. Joining me today is Renee. Now, Renee's husband, Mick, is currently going through immunotherapy, and we want to get a bit of a sense of the impact on the family. And I guess, Renee, it is something, it just doesn't impact the person that has a melanoma. It impacts on the whole family, doesn't it? Tell us about your story.
Yeah, so when Mick got his diagnosis, I was actually at work. He'd gone to the doctor thinking it wasn't much of a big deal. He rang me from the car park and told me, you need to come home now. So I hurried home. I didn't know what to expect. So yeah, when I got home and he gave me that diagnosis, I think your whole world just flashes before your eyes. Yeah. All your hopes and dreams and everything are crushed.
I think it's one of those things, isn't it? I mean, so many people are impacted by all forms of cancer. I mean, the numbers are incredible, but you never really think it's going to happen to you or your family, and then it does, and the journey starts at that point, doesn't it? And it's a long journey. Yeah,
it's definitely a long journey. The person going through it is getting all the care and the help and the support and everything, and the people around them are just scrambling to try and make that easier for them and be there for them and support them, but necessarily they don't look after themselves in that process as well.
And that's where you start to look for support. And it's so important that you realise there are other people out there going through the immunotherapy, going through treatment, going through the announcement that you have a melanoma, that you start to talk to people and you get a bit of an understanding. I don't think it ever becomes 100%, but you start to have some form of understanding, which does make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, it definitely does. And you would not believe how many people you speak to that know someone with melanoma or have lost someone that's had melanoma as well. And it's like every second person you talk to has had some sort of experience with cancer in some description. Yeah.
Were you guys hat wearers, sunscreen, every day? Where were you guys at when it comes to being out in the sun in North Queensland?
Well, funny story is I used to nag Mick a lot about being out in the sun. Make sure you got your hat on. He always was pretty good with a cap and that, but put on a bigger hat, wear the sunscreen and that. He's always working outside and doing that sort of stuff. I suppose growing up we were pretty relaxed, so it wasn't really on the forefront. But as I got older, I know I'm sensitive to the sun, so I do cover up and wear the hat and the sunscreen. But now with the kids and the grandkids, I nag. I nag a lot.
I think a lot of us in that generation now do exactly the same thing because it's so important, especially with the sun here in North Queensland. We just have it as part of our lifestyle, and if you forget, unfortunately, it can be quite tragic. Luckily, we are seeing the benefits of immunotherapy treatments now, and Mick is going through that, and so far, so good.
Yep, he's doing really well. He's extremely positive and strong-willed, so he said it won't beat him, and he's proving a point that it won't.
Yeah. It's a good story, and that's what we hope to achieve more of with the Melanoma March coming up Sunday, March 20. We'll leave here from the Rock Pool at 8 o'clock, down the Strand and back, but most importantly, we'd love you to register at melanomamarch.org.au. We are raising such important funds to help in increasing the benefits of immunotherapy in the world of melanoma. Renee, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time, and continued luck for you and Mick along the journey.
Thanks, Minty.
Good on you, Renee. Make sure you sign up, melanomamarch.org.au, and we'll see you here at the Rock Pool Sunday, March 20 for Melanoma March 2022.